Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, everybody. It has been a little while, admittedly, and I'm your host, Spencer McCoy, and I'm very excited, before we get into anything here, before we talk about what we've been doing, why we've been gone for a little bit, the whole bit, I'm very excited to introduce our new host, a actual legend, the original island boy, just trying to make it a legend in her own right, the coolest other person in this room right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Grace Steele.
Thank you so much, Spencer. That was absolutely beautiful.
Thanks. I came up with that right off the top
I
of my head.
loved the island boy, how you threw that in there.
the island, I've been waiting to use that on somebody. Grace, introduce yourself to our audience.
I'm super excited to be co-hosting this Beacon House with you. It's something that I've just found out that I'm really interested in, and I like our vibing. I work for a nonprofit. I've done most of that kind of work most of my life.
And I'm excited to get into that too. Like, I think the listeners
we can get into that later.
Yeah, you do so many cool things, and I want, again, I want to kind of reunite with our audience a little bit. But I am going. It's about to be the holidays, and you guys know that I'm like always giving you something to do. I'm counting on you guys. But it's coming up, and there's going to be a lot of charitable stuff, and Beacon House wants to get involved. And Grace is going to be
awesome.
Our freaking go-to for how you can help people. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But Grace, how you doing today?
Good. I'm good. It's beautiful. It's a Sunday.
That's right. It's gorgeous fall. The leaves are finally starting to change.
It is.
Now, Grace, are you? I know a lot of people. Like I really lean into the fall. I'm like big fucking fan of October, and I dig the whole. I like it when it starts to get kind of chilly and everything. But a lot of people are super salty about it. Where are you at on the seasonal change? Are you a winter person? Are you a summer girl? Like,
I am definitely not a winter girl.
What? Have you had a bad experience?
God, it's just.
Are you mad? You sound mad.
I'm not mad. I hate being cold and wet.
Yes.
And our winters are not snow winters anymore. They're just gush of brown mud and cold and wetness. That's it.
All right, now, are you from here?
Born and raised.
So how are you doing in the fall if you're not the cold, wintry type?
I can do the fall because, it's not colder until it's early in the morning or in the evening. So, I don't know. My wardrobe fluctuates in that. Like, I can pull, like, the jeans and the Vans and the hoodies out.
Yeah.
I can still rock it
and
be comfortable.
You do. You have good style. You're very cute.
You.
Yeah,
Thank you. I can still rock it. Now, I'm just a spring and summer girl because I'm a Gemini. I was born in June.
I see.
I like those sundresses. I like the honeysuckle. I like sweating outside.
Who likes sweating outside?
I mean, not like that humidity sweat, but I like being outside.
I get it. Well, it'll be here again pretty soon. Well, how about the holiday? Like, so
I like the holiday. The holidays make winter worth it.
Tell me about that. Come on, what do you got with the holidays? What is your favorite holiday? Lately,
my birthday.
When's your birthday?
June 15th. You said it's my favorite holiday.
Motherfucker, I'm talking about like the winter holidays. Shit. Grace is already blowing my ass up here. Plenty of the listeners have been waiting on this. No, like
Christmas.
So, Christmas is it?
Yeah, and I feel like that's so cliche, but really, Christmas is. It just goes back to like giving, like actually seeing communities come together and giving back. It's probably what I like the most about it. Of course, I really love shopping for other people. I do.
And I love that about you. And like you have you have such a charitable spirit, and like it's awesome, and I can't wait to talk about the work you do with like Vol Ministries, and we'll get to that. But no, I'm kind of like that too, man. Like there was, I don't know when it was, sometime in my past, because I'm like 1.5 million years old, but like somewhere along the way, like I think maybe I had a girlfriend or somebody that was like, hey, let's go do the angel tree. And I was like, what the fuck is the angel tree? She's like, it's where people that don't have shit, and you go and like their names and what they want, and you just pick it and go get it, and you bring it back, and they get something for Christmas. But the cool thing is they don't really know it came from like the foundation gives it to the parents to give to the kids.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the kids don't grow up with this sense of like, oh shit, we're poor, we don't fucking have anything, or like,
Yeah.
they actually just have stuff under the tree and
Right.
they don't have to like process it. And I was just like, damn. And so for every year after that, I would go, and for me,
That's badass.
dude, one of the saddest things that was like, oh, I'm not crying, Grace, you're crying. But no, it's when like we would go and we would see the tree and like some of the little things on it. And they're all, I think, like a cutout of like an angel. And it says, my name is like Sally and I'm 8 years old and what I want for Christmas. And some of them are something like a toy or,
Stuffed animal.
some
Barbie.
of them, but some of them just say like shoes,
Yes.
a
Or
coat,
backpack.
a winter coat.
Socks.
Yeah. And I was like, bro, like you talk about, I grabbed like 12 of those fucking things and go to Walmart and I'm just
Yeah.
like, boom.
And you
coat.
can.
Yeah.
You can do it.
One of the things, there were several of them and I picked a couple of them, but there was one of them that was like a kid and he said all he wanted was like an electric guitar. And like, he was maybe like, he was a little older. He was like maybe 11 or something, but I remember being that fucking kid. I remember when like, I learned about music and that was it. I was vaccinated forever. And I never ever, I can't imagine what my life would be like if I didn't learn how to play music and just the lessons it taught me and the people I met from it, it's whatever. But like, dude, I was like, I've got to get this fucking kid a guitar. And like guitars are expensive, but you can find them cheap at like a pawn shop. And I go, okay, cool. And we found him one at the pawn shop and it didn't take a whole lot of work. Like we got it together pretty quick. And the ladies were just like, this is going to be a good one. So I don't even know who the kid was. I never met the kid, but
See, to me, that's what makes the holidays worth it.
yeah. And I'm same with
I
me.
think it's awesome. I
It's
think
about
that's
just
super
like, hey,
cool.
all the shit I can get, but lately
Damn, let's go buy some drums for some kids.
drums, that's a fucking nightmare for parents.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm fortunate enough to be friends with a lot of drummers, and like the terrible thing about that is like there's no fucking way to like you can make a guitar quiet. You can play guitar through headphones,
Yeah.
or you can practice piano on but drums,
Well, you can do the pads.
the electronic ones.
Yeah.
It's true. Most kids
my
don't
dad
start
used to-
out like that. Though. Most kids start out
No.
just.
God.
Yeah,
No.
the parents
but
are-
I grew up in a house like that, so that was just natural. And it
Where there
was
was
my
like-
dad doing it, so it was like we had to put up with it.
So your dad's a drummer.
No, my dad is a musician. He can play the drums, but he does like strings
Multi-instrument.
guitars.
Fuck.
Like that's his like bass, electric bass, upright, acoustic.
I gotta meet this guy.
Yeah, Jonathan Steele. That's
Jonathan
where I got
Steele.
my name, Grace Steele.
Shit, you fucking talk about nepotism. But so that was a lot of growing up. You had like a lot. The house was just always music going on.
Always music. My dad would go on tour. Kings of the Killerfish.
Oh,
Talked
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Talk about how you remember that.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, that was my house. My mom had me when she was 16, so she's a lot younger.
Yeah.
So my parents met at UT's music building because they were
Okay.
both taking music at University of Tennessee. Now, can you imagine my mom being 20 years old, bringing her fucking 5-year-old daughter to school with her because she did?
Dude, that's awesome.
I used to run around from like the ages of like 5, 6, and 7 on UT's campus on the music grounds when it was like still like 90s, like everyone was doing grunge music, getting into like cool shit. They're smoking cigs, listening to like Nirvana or Pearl Jam.
Fucking like Empire Records.
And then you got little Grace Steele, like that 6 years old with her freckles, green eyes, and probably a rat tail's nest because she wouldn't brush it. My mother cut my hair off when I was in 5th grade because she said I would never let her brush my hair.
Because fuck it.
She did. She said fuck it. She chopped that shit off to like my ears. I was still cute.
Dang, dude.
But yeah, so like that's how I grew up. Like just music. I went to sleep listening to classical, woke up listening to some like jazz, like all
I was
over
going to
the
ask
place.
if you could clarify that.
That's why.
You're like, well, yeah, I listen to classical and then I listen to. I was like, that sounds like swing music, but I'm not sure. Like, yeah, dang old. Open through all the swing. But dude, oh, that's rad. No, I remember. I remember us briefly talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, and everything about like your whole story, your personality. I mean, that all checks out because like you're very well adjusted personality. Like
thank you.
You have you have no social anxiety at all. You're just like, what up, Grace Steele here? I'm about to fuck your shit up. But that
I'm so glad that is how I come off, that I have no social anxiety, because let me tell you, inside, I'm gassing it up.
Okay. How is that? How is that? Because you're very not afraid to talk to fucking anybody. Well, it seems like that.
No, I guess because I went to 9 schools in Knox County. I know a shit ton of people here.
You've been to every school. I don't know if I can name 9. Well, hang on. Let me see if I can name 9 schools in Knox County. I probably Cedar Bluff, Farragut. Those are 2 I fucking went to. Cedar Bluff, Farragut. Shout out to our friend Kells. Go Giants. And so Cedar Bluff, Farragut.
I went there too.
What?
Those are 2 schools that
you fucking.
They're on the roster.
Let me see if I can guess the 9 schools you went to.
Okay, yeah.
Cedar Bluff, Farragut,
Yeah.
Bearden. You did go to Bearden. Carnes. Holy shit. Cedar Bluff, Farragut, Bearden, Carnes. West. No. Okay. So we've got 4 in Gibbs. What's that? Austin East. Central.
No. But I could kick it there.
You're like, if I wound up in those neighborhoods, like
I'd kick it.
I'm chill. Like, what up?
I'd kick it. No. Okay, I'll give you hints. Stay in the area
Bluegrass.
that we were.
Bluegrass Elementary.
Just one.
Yes.
2nd grade. Just for 2nd grade.
Fuck, I don't know how many others there are. Okay, wait, that's 5. There's 4 more?
Yeah. Well, some of them are like
Catholic.
no
Webb.
No. They would have kicked me out.
I don't know. Tell me, what are the others?
Okay, so for pre-K and 1st grade, I went to Apostolic Christian Academy.
I've never even heard of that.
Don't look it up.
Nope, I'm going driving by there right now. I'm going to sit in the car with no clothes on, just holding a newspaper up.
I wasn't allowed to wear pants. I had to wear skirts all the time.
Oh, I was going to ask, the kids don't wear pants at all. Oh, they wear skirts. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, the girls have to wear skirts.
I was going to say that checks out with some Christian academies I've known
Yeah.
about. Hey. Go on.
So then there was Bluegrass for 2nd grade, West Hills for 3rd grade, Cedar Bluff Intermediate for 4th and 5th.
Wait, fucking you're Go Giants too.
Yeah.
It's not just our bro
It's
Kelsey.
not Kelsey, just Kelsey. It's me too.
Fucking,
We're all in there. We're in the green.
We should all go to the fucking
game.
Basketball.
Basketball game.
Just get ripped.
Giants.
I don't recommend anybody go to a
Class.
I don't recommend anybody go to the middle school while you're ripped, but
No.
it would be funny.
It would be what class of 2001?
Shit, mine would be like class of like 1943 or whatever. Anyway, I would root for teachers that aren't even there anymore. Go, Mr. Melnick. They'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? I don't know. That old guy's drunk in the stands. Get him out of here. Anyway, okay, so
then my parents homeschooled me for 6th grade. It was one of the worst and best experiences of my life.
How so? Both ways. Start with worst. Worst how?
I'm really not meant to be kept away from social activities.
Like, you don't do well with, like, Grace, sit in here and do your homework at this table quietly.
Not for I'm not like ADHD, but like my friends were like going to like Farragut Middle and Cedar Bluff Middle, and like in 6th grade, instead of like I would get to hang out with them on the weekends or after school, but they weren't being invited to like other school functions.
Yeah.
And like getting to do things. So I guess, yeah, it sucked.
So wait, you're
hated it, but I still did ballet, so I had like extrevia activities. Yeah,
You did ballet?
I did ballet for a very, very long time.
No shit.
So like hip hop and jazz and tap and modern.
No wonder. Okay,
But ballet was like my prime.
cut to recently, we were all, and I know I feel terrible that like we had to go like in October without talking to all you guys, because we always dialed it up for Halloween, and we're gonna make up for it. We're gonna bring some scary shit in. We'll tell some ghost stories. We'll get some spooky fucking guests on here or whatever. We'll talk about some crazy books or something. But we did go to Frightworks this year. We kept the tradition alive, and we brought Grace Steele along, and that makes sense because the line was we kind of went late in the season. The line was a little long. and they were playing Thriller.
Oh.
And Grace Steele did a lot of dancing in the line.
I did. I kind of rocked it out.
You did.
Yeah.
I can tell you have a dancer's background.
Yeah.
Because you fucking cut a rug.
Yeah. Just like, I mean, I could be like anywhere. You know that saying, dance like nobody's watching?
Yeah, you fucking do.
Yeah, just fucking
Have
do
you
it.
ever gotten
Just
embarrassed
move.
anywhere? Have you ever been like, what up? And then turned around and like you were embarrassed by it?
No. I feel like things like that, you shouldn't really like get embarrassed over. Like I get embarrassed over like other shit that I do, but like stuff like that, we'll go into that at another into another time.
Many episodes ahead of us to talk
Those
about.
Those are many stories, Spencer.
To talk about
many
this.
Spencers to those many. But I feel like, but no, I never get embarrassed. So like I did one of my exes hated to be publicly embarrassed. Her name's if I can say that. You're gonna bleep the name out.
I've got a fucking boop I can put over it.
Yeah.
I won't tell anybody it was. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I have an ex named that too.
We're just gonna call the ex.
Fuck, is it the same? It's not the same ex. I hope.
No.
Was yours ever on Jeopardy?
No.
Okay, not the same one.
No.
Whoop, don't anybody Google that.
Anyway, but she did not enjoy me doing like random funny stuff. Like she'd get embarrassed really easily. And so every time we were in a grocery store, it was basically my life's mission at this point to embarrass her at least once to where she was about to pee her pants.
I love this so keep talking. Tell me more.
I mean, it was from anything to
What did you
like,
do in the grocery store?
well, when I would get into the rolling carts and I would pretend that I couldn't walk. Like I stubbed my foot.
Grace.
And she would get so mad because she wouldn't know that I'd be going to get a cart and I'd be beeping up behind her.
My, even.
She would get so embarrassed at me. She would just stomp away.
I used to have, he's still my friend, a guy, I may have even told you stories about, if not, you'll hear more stories, and hopefully we'll be able to get him on the podcast at some point, because he's an incredible person. Adam Lutz, he's the pastor at Awaken City Church in the Old City.
Oh, that's cool.
But
I've heard good things about that church.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's the best. I shouldn't say that because a lot of people have churches they love, but it's the best one I've ever seen, just in terms
It's the best to how you feel.
Well, it's
what you see.
Just it's the most welcoming. It's the most non-judgmental. It's the most like it's non-denominational. It's
I feel like more churches are becoming that way,
dude,
and it's becoming a lot better.
He's awesome, but also he is the world's greatest practical joker. And when he and I worked at Guitar Center together for a little while, that's how I met him. He wasn't even like I think he had gone to like a Christian college, but he wasn't like he might have been a youth pastor, but he was just getting into it. But he's a musician, and so he's crazy. And we would have to go to the store for something. They would go, you guys go to Kroger and get stuff for the break room. And we would go to the store, and he would go and find like the toys, the kids' toys, like a toy football, like a Nerf football. And he would go, hey, here, catch this. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, we're grown. And he was like, catch this football. And he would throw it. And he goes, now throw it back. And I'd throw it back. And he would be like, go further. And so I would like back up a little bit. And I was like, Adam, what are you doing? We got to get back to work. And he would just pass the football back and forth in the aisle. What I didn't realize, he was getting further and further near the end cap. And he would go, okay, give me a long one. I'm going out deep. And he would go way back. And I was just like, he goes, you better hum this one. And I'd go, all right. And I'd throw it. And at this point, I'm into it. And I'm like, all right, you idiot. Here it comes. And as soon as I let go, he just walked away. And it goes crashing into like the meat department. And all these people look around. And I'm standing there. And he's just like gone. And he would do shit like that all the time. He embarrassed the fuck out of me in the store, you know? I
wouldn't go that far with her. She would have ringed my head.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell where he was. And as soon as I let go of the ball, he just like disappeared. And like it almost hit a lady. And I was like, ma'am, there was a guy that was supposed to catch that. And she's like, sure there was. I can't believe you got on the little cart with the horn. Beep, beep, here comes Grace.
I would do other things too.
Like what?
I would go and get like yeast infection cream or like Vagisil.
Talk about it real loud.
Yeah, I just go behind her and being like, hey, do you still need this? At least she was a good sport about it. She'd laugh about it afterwards. Thank God.
I had a friend who had never been sent to like the drugstore or the grocery store in the middle of the night by the girlfriend to get like the tampons or like or like a late night trip to get condoms or something.
That really is that really never really happens.
Well,
we don't send y'all out to go get our tampons in the middle of the night.
Oh, you guys have to shit, don't you? You send us away so you can shit. Is that what it is? Because I've been sent on the way. Honey, I'm not feeling well. I've been sent, and I was so into it. Like, I'm going to do a good job. I'm going to like Google a picture of the right ones, and I'm going to match it to the box, and I'm going to like. Is it because you guys are at home pooping loudly? Probably. Because you guys have loud poop, and you don't want guys to know. That's true. Also, if it is that time of the month, it's horrible. Why do you think our stomach hurts 24/7? It's really bad. It's horrible. Well, my friend was... Any man or any woman or man that has lived with a woman knows that time of the year is no joke. Well, having to live with a woman that is going through that, I would say, is hell. And you've dated women. Yeah. Have you had... I would hate being around me on mine. Well, I'm assuming if you're in a relationship with a woman that sometimes both of you hit it. You sync up, yeah, and it's emotional. What is that week like? Lots of sex. Lots of sex and food. Sex, food, and crying? Yeah. Shit, it sounds like my everyday life, except without the sex. But it's so much, even though you would think because of all the emotions with like a female and one female, and y'all are synced up and y'all are in a relationship together, it's actually a lot easier dealing with that than like, I guess in my relationships where it's like a guy and a girl and y'all have no fucking clue what to do. Oh, man. Because y'all have no idea what to do, and we are not in the best state in our mind to explain to you what we need to be happy. We need you to figure that out yourself. We don't do well with figuring it out. Well, I'm sorry, because we're not in a state. I'm going to tell you one thing. Give us some advice. Give my male listeners some advice when it's that time. How can they help? Do they say that? Do they go, how can I make... I've heard women say that. They go, when the guy's like testing their fucking nerves, but not for any real reason. Like she's just annoyed the fuck at him. She doesn't feel well. And he's like, hey, babe. Hey, what's wrong, babe? Hey, what's wrong, babe? And I've heard women say that if he goes, how can I help? Like that might be a good thing to say. Oh, that is so much better. Yeah. What can I do to help? Like if you're hearing us complain about our cramping or anything, just ask like what you can do to help. I would say the best thing is to speak as little as possible, but be physically affectionate as possible. Fucking A, I get it. Comfort, but don't fix. Yes. Men are terrible at fixing. Right there. Don't fix it. I don't need you to fix it. Men think I can fix it myself. Men think they have to fix. I just need you to speak when spoken to and give me physical love. You heard it here, guys. Shut the fuck up and give some hugs out. Just it. Let us cry. Let them cry. You know? Guys a lot of times freak out when girls cry. I know, which is actually, it's really healthy for us. I know. It's healthy for everybody. It's healthy for everyone, yeah. But when you have like a big cry, like you've been super stressed or y'all have been fighting and like a cry happens, man, it just makes it so much better. Good stuff. Well, see, guys, I feel like when guys are little and something happens and they cry, like you hurt your leg or whatever, you cry. When men cry, they cry because something unbearable is happening. And the sooner that's over, the sooner the crying's over. So when men have this thing, when they see crying, they have to like stop it. You got to fix it. This has to go away. This can't be a good thing. But girls just cry. Yeah, we don't need you to fix it. Yeah, and the crying is probably fixing it itself. Girls, if there are girls listening, you got to talk like Miss Grace Steele is talking right now. You got to tell your fucking guy he doesn't know. He thinks he's got to go get his toolbox, come fix you because you're crying, something's wrong. He's going to change your oil like he does in the car. Like men are fixers. So you got to tell your guy, hey babe, do me a favor. And if you give guy clear instructions, then he has work to do. Here's your instructions. Shut the fuck up and come comfort me. And then let me cry, and maybe there'll be some sex. He'll go, oh, I could do that. Sweet. Definitely sex. Yeah, totally. Oh, like 100% sex. That's all I got to do? You mean I don't have to say it? Because men also think they have to say a lot of stuff to get sex. Like, they feel like they have to work for sex sometimes. When a girl has a good cry, like when I have a good cry. Ready to fuck. Yeah. But you better be hop on those emotions, going from the crying to the fucking, like, that is what I need. We're going from the crying to the fucking immediately. From the crying to the fucking. There better still be salt on my cheeks. Oh my Grace Steele, you have brought an element of truth to the Beacon House podcast that possibly previously unseen. Okay, this is good. I hope you guys have got your fucking your iPad or your fucking phone or I hope you're taking notes. This is good stuff.
No, but
here.
one thing I am going to go back and this is one thing. And tell me how you feel, because this is, I think, the general census of most people are humans are horrible communicators.
Yeah,
we suck.
Well, yes, and I personally, one of my big problems is
we suck.
Hey.
I said we.
I thought you were, hey, you fucking suck. You're not wrong, but watch it. Listen, one of my problems is like I communicate by talking, and even though I'm a great listener, like I love listening, and most of the time when people aren't around me, all I'm doing is listening. I'm listening to podcasts, I'm listening to YouTube videos, or I'm reading. I'm just taking in as much information as possible.
You're just downloading knowledge.
Downloading knowledge all the time. But when I get around people, I like people so much that I fucking run my mouth too much and I talk. And I have actually had friends that just didn't read me the right way, that were like you always talk over me, you never let me talk. And I was just like, I can't imagine anybody perceives me that way. But like I've come off like that because I get so excited. I just I talk too much.
It happens. I do too. But people love us.
Well, you've had to go. Everything requires a little bit of empathy, you know. Like you've got to forgive people. Like if somebody likes you enough to talk to you a lot, that's not an insult. You know what I mean? You could go, well, let me interject. Or you could always go, hold on a minute, let me say something. Instead of just going, you never let me talk. I'm like, man, I was trying to communicate with you. But you're right. And especially men and women.
It's horrible.
It is. You're right.
It really is. When you sit and think about it, it's like it could be so simple, but it's like the guy doesn't communicate in the way that the girl needs it to be communicated. Or the girl's not communicating in the way that the guy is receiving it. Like, it's just not receptive. And really, and all I have to say is, like, talk. And I'm really bad about it. I get bad about it, too. And my number one thing has always been communicate, and talk. And I've tried doing that in a lot of my relationships. So I feel like I strive in my relationships to make them work, to be a good communicator. I think but there are times,
and that's why I was like, you've got to come.
Sometimes I'm bad. Like, I'm super bad about it. I'll get stuck in my feelings. There's like stuff that's going on. I'll overthink stuff. I don't talk to you about it when I should talk to you about it. But it's like the classic story from Adam and Eve.
Yeah. The whole, or the men are from Mars, women are from Venus thing. Yeah, that's a big thing too. And again,
just not talking.
I've heard people say that also people perceive that what they need is what the other person needs, and that's a big mistake. Like,
it's a huge mistake because your love language is not.
Yeah, and even before you get to the love languages, one of the big ones is supposed to be that men generally require respect up front more than love. Like men don't need to be told like you're handsome or you're pretty or like I love you so much. More than they just need to be told like, hey, you're great, and like I think that's a good idea, or like I'm not sure, but you know what, I'm behind you 100%. Like they need to be told that kind of shit. Yeah. And then women require love more than they do the respect and all that kind of stuff. You know, like just like the kind of stuff you're talking about. Shut up and just give me a hug. Tell me it's going to be okay, and then, you know, as soon as my cheeks get salty, we'll fuck.
You can put something else salty on.
So, yeah. Oh, Jesus.
No, but I do think that's...
For everybody listening, that was a cum joke. If anybody catch that was a cum shot joke by Grace Steele right there.
No, I do think that's true, but at some point it does switch because, you know, we surpass the stage of wanting to be told we're beautiful all the time to where we're wanting to hear like, hey, I really enjoy spending time with you. Yeah. I feel like once you get it to a certain stage and like liking someone, that's where that comes upon.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I totally get it. Well, that's, yeah, I think that's...
The same with guys. Then you also need us to start telling you how big your muscles are and like, ooh, we like your beard, baby. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear us tell how much we appreciate you unloading the dishwasher. You want to hear about how we like your... Man,
it depends. Then you probably get into like the love languages. Like yeah. I'm definitely an acts of service person. I have the other ones too. In fact, I'm pretty even on a lot of them, but I do think like if somebody's like coming over or whatever like that, like I clean the place up and I try to do so. Or if I go to somebody's house and they cook dinner, I'm totally like helping them clean. I'm doing the dishes. Right. I'm loading up. Like I'm trying to like do my part. And I'm not doing it for a compliment. But if they did notice and go, dude, thanks for loading the dishes, I go, of course. Like what did you say? But if somebody does shit like that for me, I go, oh my God.
But you have to communicate to people that that's what your love language is.
Yes, you got to tell them.
So you're in that when you got to communicate that that's what your love. If you don't communicate it goes back to the same thing as they think, oh, they reciprocate feelings and live that way.
Well, and you have people. That's where you hear people go, "I'm not a fucking mind reader." Like, blah, blah, blah. What do you want? You got to tell me what you want.
Yeah.
We didn't fuck.
How was I supposed to know?
You just cried, but there was no fucking. Like, no, there's nothing but crying. I totally
Just shut
get
up
it.
and give me a hug.
I think you're going to help a lot of people, Grace.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'll probably send him to insane silence.
I know. Yeah, we'll see. Well, I'll tell you what. I have, if you don't mind, I have a couple of just very basic questions I wanted to run by you so that the audience can kind of get to know you. First off, first question, and we've kind of touched on some of this already, but let's just say, what makes you laugh?
My vocal cords. I'm just kidding.
That was shitty. That was smart ass what you did. That was pretty good. You were shitty to me just now. What do you think is funny, you fucking asshole? Just kidding.
No, I got what you're saying. I just said that to give me more time to think about the question.
Unlikely story, Grace Steele. Stalling.
What makes me laugh?
What do you think is like what is your type of humor?
It's
like funny
that's
humor,
a
satirical
tough one,
humor.
'cause I like all
cruel
of it.
humor.
I do like some cruel humor.
I could tell that about you, I think.
I do. I like some dark, morbid humor sometimes.
Some dark shit.
Yeah.
Funny is funny. Like
Funny is funny. You can't choose. I find the Dave Chappelle shit that he's doing, a lot of people are super angry about it. I get it.
It's
I
hilarious.
get why you're angry. I'm bisexual. I'm part of the gay community.
Yeah.
It's comedy.
Yeah.
That's all it is it's comedy. Yeah, it's a little fucked up. It's fucked up.
But what are we going to laugh at?
But come on.
Not all good jokes are super
Just because I
clean.
laugh at it doesn't mean,
Exactly.
That's
been a theme on this podcast
I laugh
before.
at the blind kid that falls down the stairs. I'm
Grace.
still going to help him. I'm still going to help him get up. I'm still going to help him get up. But I might laugh.
Are you okay, Bobby? How many fingers am I holding up? Oh, wait. Sorry, dude. Here. Okay, I get it. I like and
that's not me just being an asshole or anything, because I have I'm very compassionate. It's just funny is funny, and you got to learn to draw the line. You can't take shit personally 24/7.
That's been a theme on this podcast. We always thought everything that was funny. We thought Dave Chappelle was funny. We thought I remember Chris D'Elia, he also just came out of a couple of rough years because he got accused of all this shit. But I remember he said he goes, "It's so fucking stupid for anybody to get mad at a comedian, what they say on stage." He goes, "You know why? We're joking. We're just joking. We're telling jokes."
That's what you do. You go up there.
Yeah. So let's change gears then. What makes you cry? What makes you very sad, Grace Steele? Maybe not like super personal. No. Obviously, you're very big-hearted and you like to help people.
What makes me cry?
But is there like a certain movie or like a sad song or like what is it?
I cry every time I watch Armageddon.
Real, but the Bruce Willis thing?
Yeah. And his daughter's name is Grace. And then when he's saying goodbye to her, oh, man, I will fucking shed a tear every time I watch that fucking movie.
Aerosmith has got their foot in your ass, You don't want to fall asleep. You might miss. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that a lot. I like that.
I will cry every time.
I'm bad about. I get fucked up over like chick flicks.
Do you?
Like not necessarily like rom-coms, but movies like
I stay away from them.
fried green tomatoes and Steel Magnolias and those motherfuckers. They fuck. My mom was big on that shit, and I used to watch it with her. The one that probably fucks me up worse than anything, but it's also a stellar movie, and a lot of people have seen it. It's called The Prince of Tides, and it had Barbara Streisand and Nick Nolte in it. And oh my God! So
does Fox and the Hound fuck you up too?
Oh yeah, or like The Velveteen Rabbit. Get out! Who wrote that? Who fucking wrote that piece of shit? That's the book that teaches kids they'll never be able to love anything. The fucking Velveteen Rabbit. What a cruel tome.
Where the red ferns grow.
The Giving Tree. There goes all my feelings. Like pooped all my heart out when I read The Giving Tree. I'm like, there's no reprieve. It just gives and gives and gives, and then fucking gets nothing back from it. And
that's life. That is the lesson for today.
That's fucking true.
That's fucking life.
Spoiler, gang. Nothing good comes back.
No.
Yeah. You just wither and wither away until you're a fucking old stump.
You just fucking give.
Then some guy sits on you and farts, and that's it. Get used to it. Sack up, people. That was unfair. That was insensitive of me. Okay, here's another. Grace Steele, if you could go talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell that bitch?
I feel like the list of what I would not tell her is shorter. list that I should tell her.
Ooh, elaborate on that shit. What is that?
So many life choices, so many paths could have gone down. Where could I have been? I could be a girl on a yacht right now. I probably to finish school. You always tell yourself, "Oh, I can always go back." Yeah, but the chances of you doing it are not likely.
Amen.
I would tell 18-year-old Grace to finish school.
Finish school, 18-year-old Grace.
Finish school. Everything else will wait.
And what are maybe just a couple of these? Don't have to be in any particular order, but just what are a few topics you would like to talk about on future episodes? Again, we've already kind of struck on a little bit of that, but what are some things that maybe, what are some things Grace Steele would like to bring to the table that we're going to hash out on this fucking podcast?
There's going to be so many stories and so many things being hashed out on this podcast.
I'm excited. Can you guys hear that? Did
Like-
you fucking hear that, everybody? You should see the look in her eye. She looks fucking crazy right now.
I have so many stories to tell, and so many life experiences that people can learn from and not do,
Oh man, we're gonna.
or do if you enjoy chaos.
I'm getting a little fucking scared over here. Just kidding. She's wonderful. Yeah.
Topics. Spay and neutering your pets.
Boom, big one.
Boom. Mental health.
Boom.
Normalizing mental health for men.
Oh man, that's huge.
Normalizing mental health for men, not just women, but for men.
Right.
Also, I want to normalize and talk more about men who are bisexual. There's really not. They don't talk about that a lot. And they get slept on.
They do, and I think I've heard from, and I've even heard like some of my friends that are gay are not cool with the guys who claim to be bisexual. I know a lot of gay people that have said, and I don't know how true this is, but they've said that a guy that claims to be bisexual is just a guy that's afraid to come all the way out. They don't think that they really are bisexual.
And that's discriminatory. That's not fair. Because you'd that would be basically saying the same thing about me. But I know exactly where I fall, and it's a little,
And I mean, I like to believe in a world where all women are bisexual. Sorry.
Me too.
Yeah, because you do.
too.
Sounds perfect, doesn't it?
It does sound perfect. Yeah, so like mental health, of course, music, something always going to talk about. That's going to be one.
And have some guests on. Feel like you said you had some pretty good ideas for guests we could have on.
I did. I don't want to give them away because they're going to be surprises when they do come. But I do have some ideas on some major guests, some great topics, some industries.
Folks, you heard it here. Get fucking ready. It's going to be a wild ass ride with Miss Grace Steele. Dude, and again, thank you so much for introducing it, just being forthcoming. And again, this is episode number 1. I know you're just getting comfortable with it, but I think it's awesome. I think people are going to love listening to you. I love listening to you. And every time I talk to you, I learn something. And so anyway, it's going to be pretty cool. I wanted to just take a minute and talk about something. Like a lot of people have heard me on here before, but it's been like a while. I haven't counted, but it's got to have been close to a year or the better part of a year or 8 months or something since people heard from me. And one of the things that I've basically been doing what I always did. I just work a lot. I play music, whatever. But one of the things I've done that I never did before, we even talked about it on here, and I was like, I just don't see that. I struck up a couple of dating apps. Yeah, for the first time, I did some of that shit. And I tell you what, and I made a couple friends. I went on a date or two. They weren't bad, but they weren't. It wasn't like fucking sparks went off or anything. But I did make a couple of really good friends. I actually met some people in other states that we had similar interests, or they knew musicians that I knew, whatever. But I will tell you this, the weirdest thing to me about the dating apps is the amount of like cold, rapid rejection that occurs on the app. Like you just, like some of them you swipe, some of them you hit an X or whatever, but like it is emotionally draining to me to just because it's a matter of time. So like the reason I started with the dating apps is I've always been very comfortable in social situations. Like I can go up to somebody and go, "Hey, what's up? My name's Spence. Like, what do you do?" I'm not weird at all around people, but I have a fucking awful schedule. So my schedule just keeps me working all the time, or I'm very busy. It's just hard to go out and socialize a lot. And so I was like, you know what? Like, this is what people do. So you can kind of like, you can work around a tight schedule, but the dating apps allow you to do that. Like if you're coming home at 2:00 in the morning from work, you can sit there and like swipe or scroll or like or send a message or send a heart or whatever whatever it is, and then go to bed and like
wake up and see who you match with.
Exactly. So that's why I started doing it. It was kind of a convenience. But the problem with convenience and people is when you see people that you're just not attracted to at all, and I'm sure a lot of people see me this way too. They just go, nope, not that fucking dildo, but like, But I like, the thing about me is like, I'll just go, no. And it's not me. I feel so terrible every time I just take some perfectly good person.
I do too.
And just go, shoo, boom, no, like I don't like her. Like
I do the same thing. I feel the same way too. That's why I don't do dating apps for multiple reasons, but that's one of them too. It's just because it gets to be by first glance.
Yeah, it's not fair.
It's like food. Like you're like looking at something on the menu. And you're like, no, I don't want that. But you didn't even like taste that. And then you do see something that looks good and you order that. And there's no salt and pepper in it.
Yeah.
There's no seasoning.
It's got no sauce.
There's nothing in there.
I love that. That's the Grace Steele secret voice. But like, you're right, and I'll just zip because it's a time thing and it's convenient. Like all apps are a convenience thing, but putting people as the convenience product is super fucking.
I don't
weird
like it.
me. I'm just like zip. And the thing is, I know, and when I was young and naive, I thought like, oh, anybody that like, if they talk a little bit, they could fall. No, if you're not attracted to somebody, you're not attracted to them, and it's eventually going to fall through. But like sometimes, if you see somebody and you go, well, I don't know, and then you talk to them, and there's chemistry, you go, wow,
it makes them a lot more attractive.
Yeah, you're super fucking attractive after we talked, and you said a bunch of cool stuff, and like I kind of see you now. I see your heart a little bit, and I like it. Like
those are the things that matter, and and dating apps make it so much harder because you are judging it based off the first appearance, and they give you that little bio, right? So you can like say something quirky that's what's gonna pop in. You know how much pressure. How much fucking pressure that is to come up with like a 400 character line or saying to get you to like look at me over all the other girls
this
that look just like me.
Sometimes I go, bro, do you understand the point of this app? Like some of the things you see on there is just like, it's bad.
Can I just say something real quick?
Say it.
This is for all the men out there and ladies, okay? If you're on a dating app and you're posting pictures of yourself because you want to be attractive and you want people to see you, do not post car or bathroom selfies. Do not. I repeat, do not post those. Just don't.
Apparently there's a thing with men on dating apps, and I don't see them, of course, but I've seen women, and it's got to be a thing because I've seen enough women say this in their bio, like, please, no more pictures of guys holding fish. So apparently, like a lot of guys like fish, and they go, "This will be the one," and they like hold it. And
there
again, I know a lot of people like to fish, but I don't know if I would use that. Like, I don't know. Maybe if that's.
But I mean, if that's your hobby, and you look, all you got is someone to swipe a little bit to see your pictures. Maybe get through 3 of your pictures if you have 5, and read a couple of the lines. So maybe if you're into fish and you show that you're country or something like that, then you like a country girl or a country dude comes. So like that's why they would do it. Yeah. My thing is a car selfie or like the gym mirror bathroom selfie only tells me 2 things about you. You're a douchebag and you don't do anything interesting because you're taking pictures of yourself in the car.
No, I 100%.
And that's what you're posting for your dating.
Well, a lot of people. I saw somebody saying that like one of the best things you can do is if you put pictures on your dating app is have it be pictures other people took.
Yes.
Have it not be like an obvious selfie that you took 85 times. Like have it be like an actual photo. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, that's a very good rule.
Also, I guess sometimes if you're really into something, you put that up there because you want to maybe weed out. Like the guys with the fish are kind of like, I don't want no bitch that ain't like fish. You know, like it's a motherfucking bluegill. You know, like if a girl doesn't like fish, they're like, well, here, bitch, swap on because I'm holding up a fucking, I can't think of walleye. I can't think of other fish names.
Well, that's just like the people on the dating app.
Rainbow trout.
When with Trump, and now I'm staying Switzerland. I am making no comments about our political party.
We've said so much political shit. We shit on everybody.
I am not going there.
We shit on everybody.
Definitely when the guys or girls, and they would definitely be like, Trump, make America great again. I totally swiped left on
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, and
I don't even need to see that.
Well, yeah.
That just helped.
Yeah, dude. And there's a lot of people that say they're either conservative and they go no liberals, or they go no and it's weird to me that people would it's that big of a deal to them that they would possibly pass up on like good company just because that person voted. Like that seems weird. Now I know that there's a lot to talk about, but and I famously just shit on the whole government. Like I don't trust any of them. There's like 3 of them that I've ever kind of liked, but I'm like I would totally go out with like a girl if she was even like a hardcore Republican, as long as she wasn't a bigot.
Right.
As long as she wasn't a racist or a bigot or a religious fanatic or something like that. If she was just like, no,
don't push your opinion on me.
I just vote a certain way. You know, like what? Yeah, you can go back through our archives. I've got episodes where guys talk about like, he goes, why does everybody have to argue about who the fuck they're voting for anyway? And my air conditioner repairman goes, imagine if we had a secret ballot system where once every couple of years you could go and just vote for who you think is best, and then afterwards, that's it. You take that little sticker and you throw it right in the fucking trash, and nobody fights over anything. What if we had that? Oh, we fucking do have that.
I was about to say that is exactly what we do.
But what's Facebook? That's Anyway, so I've been on the dating apps and I've met some pretty cool people, but I feel terrible the amount of like when I actually use the app the correct way and you just go fast, nope, yes, nope, yes, and see what happens. Like, I don't know. My whole objective is to, like, if somebody messages and they seem cool, and we kind of go back and forth, and maybe to move it off of there onto, like, socials. Like, let's go to Instagram.
What if we did an experiment?
What?
What if we did an experiment?
Like what?
I don't know. We'd have to work out the logistics and the plan in it. But, like, signing up for different dating apps. I even want to do, like, a Christians Mingle.
Yeah.
Something.
Isn't there one
experiment
for,
on
isn't
like
there one for
on
farmers?
Yeah. Oh yes, we should do that. What is it called? Farmers market.
I don't think it's farmers market.
That'd be a good one.
That's
though.
pretty crass. Fucking meat market.
Farmers market.
The dairy hole.
But put it, or having multiple Tinder or Bumble. I've never been on Bumble.
I have not. I'm not on Bumble.
But just put different kind of pictures. I just make fake ones and see what gets more hits and what doesn't. Are you having a good experience on these dating apps?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that I've had a good experience yet, but I've had the consternation of going, man, I feel like even though I didn't do anything bad, I feel like I shit on a lot of people tonight by just nope. You look like a nuclear accident. Nope.
They start all looking the same to me.
So, but that's the only really new thing in my life is that I've experimented with the dating apps a little bit, and it's a bizarre fucking.
It is
world.
A weird world.
It's a strange world, and I expect it only to
be careful though. I always tell my friends that are fucking around on dating apps, be careful. Always let a friend know where you are if you're meeting up with someone new.
Fact, that's a good idea. Or I would do it like in public or something, Like,
well, yeah, just always let. This world's a scary place. We can't be having our kids play out until the street lights come on anymore.
Totally fucking right. Well, that's all I've got for hey, what's Spence been up to? Whatever. What do you want? Oh, you had a thing. You wanted to talk about a fucking disaster that happened.
Oh,
which I don't know a whole lot about. But
I don't know a whole lot about it either. But I've just been watching it on the news. It's all over TikTok, CNN, Facebook. Yeah. So Travis Scott at Astroworld Music Festival in Houston, Texas. I think there was like over 50,000 people attended.
Yeah.
Something like that. At least 8 people have been killed, dozens injured, over 300 were hospitalized because the crowd literally surged so hard when Travis went on stage that it was like people's worlds got rocked. And they're being tripped over, fallen down, trampled upon. Some girl says she felt like she was going through cardiac arrest and no one would help her up.
Jesus.
Have you ever gone to Bonnaroo?
I have not,
okay.
But I have a lot of friends that have. I have a lot of friends that have played
back
at
in
Bonnaroo.
like 2006, 2005 Bonnaroo.
Yeah,
like those, like that year of festivals and on. I just feel like maybe it's just my generation and my age. I just like that. It's how it used to be. Now it's just it's insane.
I know other people that feel the same way.
Like it's insane. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would still spend the money to see that many artists.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's just gotten insane to where it's like really like you got to think about your safety. How much fun are you really having?
Yeah.
You know, people with anxiety, like you got to think about that unless you're just going to do a bunch of drugs. That
There's
was a joke. I do not endorse. I do not endorse taking narcotics.
What's the other one? There's another one that's like in Middle Tennessee that's a little more like punk rock that's supposed to be kind of like the original Bonnaroo. Muddy Roots.
I hate that
Muddy Roots. A lot of people I know are like, you know what? We used to go to Bonnaroo, and around the same time you're talking about, like 2005, 6, 2009, and they're like, man, it's just turned into such a fucking mess. Now we just go to Muddy Roots, and it's like the original, kind of like Bonnaroo was, and it's original, and it's supposed to be like, even though it's a little edgier and a little more like I said, a little more punk rock, it's like super clean. Everybody cleans the place up. It's not just like trash, like waste.
I hear horror stories of like how trash it is after festivals, and in my mind, I'm just like, dude, the people who are going to these festivals should know better than to like be trashing the grounds that way.
Yeah. There's a mentality people get when they're just ready to party.
Well, I know.
You see it on campus. I mean, even after the ball games, it's absurd, you know?
It is absurd. Humans, we are disgusting.
We're awful. We're awful.
We're disgusting.
Yeah, that's probably why the dating apps don't work, because you just see more human garbage.
Exactly.
You probably threw that bottle on the sidewalk, you fucker.
You're what we just picked up from the ocean cleanup.
Swipe. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we're kind of getting near our time for our first episode. This has been a lot of fun. What do you think? I had a lot of fun.
I'm excited. This is fun.
Rock. Yeah,
time flies.
It flies right by.
It's easy to talk to you.
Well, thanks. It's easy to talk to you.
This is a great outlet.
I think our audience is going to love hearing Grace Steele and her stories and questions and whatever.
They're going to love all my personalities.
They're going to love each one of you.
Each one of me. They might get a couple at the same time.
It's okay. But before we go, talk to everybody about Vault Ministries. Tell them what they can be doing. I mean, obviously, we're going to revisit this. Yeah,
we'll revisit this over a couple of episodes. But Vault Ministries, it's volunteer ministry. It is on corner of Fifth Avenue and Broadway at 511 North Broadway. It is a nonprofit organization that works in helping people who are experiencing homelessness directly. So they do outreach. They have case management, resource center, refuge center. They provide meals. They help, get people into housing. So their mission is to stop homelessness. And the way to do that is by giving the resources and tools so someone can learn how to do it themselves. But us, being kind. But what we need right now the most is women and men's coats, jeans, and shoes. We really need good warm shoes, some good coats, men and women. It's getting cold.
Yeah.
It's getting really cold outside, and they have nothing.
And you know what, man? Like anybody who's listened to this podcast in the past, like we've discussed the homelessness situation a lot, but
it's bad here.
We always wind up at kind of an impasse because, like, what do you do? Like, some of those people are like I think you were the one that told me, like, sometimes people just graduate out of foster homes and boom, they're on the street, or they
just age right out,
or a lot of them are like have mental problems and that kind of stuff.
Oh yes,
they just get
a lot of mental
tossed
illness.
out. But the idea that society will just insulate you no matter what, that's not real. Like sometimes you just get cast out, and then we will go, what do we do? What do we do? You may be the first person who's ever sat here and said, this is what you do. You start by helping them this way or that way. So that's great to kind of have like a resolution here. And I'm going to personally charge the Beacon House listeners. You know who you are, you fuckers. I love you. But I've been away for a little while, and I'm going to go ahead and start giving you homework right up front because that's what I do. I want you guys to figure out a way, go through your closets, go through whatever. I actually did a thing like when we talked about this. I saw you made a Facebook post and you were talking about. Do you mind telling just a brief version of that story where the guy had blisters on his feet and like he didn't?
Oh yeah. So this gentleman
listen to this shit.
This gentleman comes up with a friend of his, and he has no shoes. He's literally walking around with Kroger bags tied around his feet. That's what he has, and he has a friend with him. And he just comes up and he's like, "Man, I really need some shoes." He was like, that's all I really want. I don't want anything else. And he showed us our feet. He was a size 10. Most men, shoes that we need the most are usually between like a 9 and 11.
Yeah.
You know, those are the most common shoe sizes, I think.
100%.
But he had blisters all over his feet. But because we didn't have his size, we didn't even have a size down that he could just squeeze his foot in, or a size up that would just be too big.
Yeah.
And so his friend, while we were looking, I was watching and talking, was rubbing his feet with lotion because they hurt so bad. His feet were so cracked and hurt so bad from walking without having shoes or any proper footwear. And we didn't have any, so we just got like bandage wrap and wrapped his feet and sent him to some other organizations that we knew that weren't far away that maybe had shoes that we didn't have. But it's just sad because that's a regular occurrence.
And that's fucked up.
It is, and that's happening in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Right, yeah, in our own backyard.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, man, like I don't know everybody's situation, but I know that today when I was coming down here to meet Grace and do this podcast, I went through and I found like 4 or 5 pairs of shoes in my closet that I don't wear anymore. And I was able to bag them up and bring them down, and they're all like a size 11, I think. But I was just like, I mean, man, there's got to be something that people can do. And like I said, I made a Facebook post about this, and any of you guys that know me, like if you don't have time, or if you're not ever in that part of town, if you're never near Broadway or Central or Fifth Avenue, you know, whatever, just hit me up. I'll arrange to meet you guys, and then I'll give the stuff to Grace so she can take it there or whatever. But don't let a logistics stop you from helping somebody out. You know, like even if we can't build homes for these people, even if we can't provide jobs for them, I mean, they should at least be able to have shoes and coats to walk around in. Like, so I feel very strongly about that. We talked about the giving spirit of the holidays.
Let's just be humans to humans.
Bro,
let's try to do a little bit better.
I believe in our listeners too. I've met a lot of you guys, and you guys are fine people. We've been blessed with the listeners and I hope we get more of the listeners. I hope your friends start listening. I hope you bring a whole wave of people in here that want.
I'm excited.
Yeah, dude, totally. You'll meet some of the people that have. I mean, we'll do an event eventually where we just have like a meetup or something.
Yeah,
and maybe at a bar or whatever. But the people are pretty cool. And they're going to want to meet you.
I'm excited. I already love you guys.
See, there you go.
Spencer, thank you so much for having me co-host this with you.
It is an honor, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So you guys,
I am too.
Jump on board Volunteer Ministries. Keep an eye out for Beacon House. We're not going to be on this time around. We're not going to be on a regular schedule, so it's not going to be like one every week. There may be one every week, but there may be one every 2 weeks. There may be one a month, but we'll post it all over social media. You'll know when they're coming, and just stick with us. Go on the ride. Send us messages. You can hit us up on social media. Everything is at Beacon House Knox. That's Instagram, Gmail, Twitter, whatever. And you guys all know my social media. Hit us up if you want to hear us talk about something or address an issue. Give us some idea. That's a fun one when people go, hey, I would like to. What do you guys think about this?
I'd love that.
Oh, it's cool. It's really cool. And the fans want to hear something, and we just crack it open or do a little research and come in. It's neat.
I always like doing a little research. Get a little knowledge. I like it. I like reading books way more than watching TV.
Dude, we have a Beacon House book club. We've only done one episode so far. Like usually we'll pick a book and we'll say, all right, we've got a couple weeks to read it or whatever, and then we'll get together on the podcast and and we also tell the listeners, hey, you guys all read this book. We're going to do an episode about it. Send us your questions or whatever, and we'll hash it out.
That'd be cool.
Beacon House Book Club. You know,
Hell
so I'm
yeah.
into that too, dude, bro.
I am too.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Grace, say bye to the folks.
Goodbye, folks. Thank you so much for having me.
And we're signing off too. This is Spence, your host, and we'll see you buttholes next time. Stick with us, okay?
Oh, my.